In many Indian homes, money never lived in a bank first. It lived in a sweets tin, folded small, hidden inside a Godrej Almirah, behind saris, old files, and the quiet logic of emergency. As a child, you don't call it scarcity. You just learn that every note has a shadow, every purchase is discussed twice, every unexpected expense enters the room like bad weather. No one sits you down and says, "Be afraid." But you watch mothers save quietly, fathers delay repairs, and families treat stability like something that can disappear overnight. That is how fear travels. Not as drama, as habit, as caution, as love wearing the face of restraint. Then you're 22 in Bangalore. Your first salary lands. It looks bigger than anything you've ever touched, and still somehow too small for the life the city is already charging you to imagine. You learn new words in borrowed hours, compounding, index funds, RSUs. You realize money can do more than survive. It can multiply while you sleep. Around you, the script still feels familiar. Get the job, send money home, save carefully, don't dream too loudly, but something in you has already started negotiating with that inheritance. So, you begin privately. Late-night spreadsheets, finance threads, SIP calculators, a browser full of futures you don't yet know how to explain to anyone else. That might be the real awakening. Not wanting more for status, but realizing the old ceiling was never a law. It was just a story repeated until it sounded final. The next few years don't feel cinematic when you're living them. They feel like traffic on Outer Ring Road, laptop light after midnight, and weekends that disappear into side projects no one claps for. You get better, but you also get tired. Promotions help, so do raises. But effort expands to fill every win, and the finish line keeps moving the moment you reach it. Some friendships thin out. Some versions of you become harder to carry into old rooms. Ambition makes sense inside your chest, but from the outside it can look like distance. And failure still visits. Bad decisions, stalled ideas, doubt that arrives at 2 a.m. sounding practical. Maybe this is enough. Maybe you're asking for too much. But somewhere underneath all that noise is one clean refusal. You cannot go back to living inside limits that fear chose for you before you were old enough to question them. Then one day, almost by accident, you notice a number that would have once felt impossible. Not fantasy, not projection, yours. You expect joy to arrive like a scene in a film? It doesn't. The room looks the same. The city sounds the same. Even your face gives nothing away. What arrives instead is vigilance. You tell fewer people. You spend even more carefully. You start protecting the life that discipline has started to build. Because once money becomes real, so does the fear of losing it. And the milestone becomes not a finish line, but a command to reinvest, stay quiet, and keep going. Eventually, the number has a name: 1 crore. Not from one lucky trade, but from years of disciplined investing, RSUs that finally matured, ESPPs that compounded quietly, and equity bets that took longer to make sense than you hoped. You imagine this threshold would feel like relief, like exhale, like proof that you had finally outrun the old anxiety. Instead, it feels strangely abstract, almost too large for your nervous system to trust. The body doesn't update as fast as the balance sheet. You still compare prices, still refresh accounts, still wonder if one mistake could pull you back into the life you promised yourself you would outgrow. So, the moment stays private. Maybe a longer silence. Maybe a walk at night through a Bangalore street that has no idea what just changed inside you. And then you call home. You ask if everything is fine. They ask if you've eaten. Nothing important is said directly, and somehow, everything important is there. When you go home, the house is familiar enough to hurt. The same steel containers, the same TV in the corner, the same routines that once defined safety, now viewed through a life built somewhere else. You notice little frictions you never had language for before. The hesitation around spending, the indirect questions, the strange choreography of pride, dependence, and restraint. You can help now, more than before. That should feel simple, but money changes a family story the moment it enters it, and not everyone knows how to stand in the new version. So, guilt arrives with capacity. You wonder whether lifting the weight will also shift the relationships that were built while carrying it together. That may be the quiet cost of class mobility. Not becoming different on paper, but feeling the distance in rooms that still love you, even when they no longer fully know your interior life. Maybe that is what wealth is really for. Not escape, not performance, not proving anything to people who never carried your beginning, just the chance to make life less afraid. To replace secrecy with openness, to let parents rest, to let children grow up without hearing panic in every financial decision, even when no one says the word out loud. The deepest shift isn't moving from middle class to rich. It's moving from inherited fear to chosen stewardship.